Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lisa and today we're doing a sewing video. Last video we finished up the Rosalina Arwen combo dress project, which had a lot of different pieces, but we're done now. And next video I want to start another big project with quite a few different pieces. I'm estimating 3 videos. We'll see. It should be a lot of fun though. I'm very excited about that one. But I've got some in-betweener projects that I want to get done. Let me drop you down. So we've got this cherry red fabric. I'm not sure that it's showing up as cherry red on the video, but it is cherry red. Then I've also been asked to perform surgery on Mr. Bean here. He is a dragon and he has a bit of an opening. So fix that. The last thing on the project list is the fabric that I've accumulated since I moved into this house, which was well over half a year ago. and not that much fabric. I need to serge all the edges and then wash. So this is my newest acquisition. I've really been not buying a lot of fabric. I think the other fabric I bought, I showed you in the last video, and then I bought just a tiny bit of silk to go along with some of the projects that are coming up. And that's it. Other than this beautiful fabric from Silhouette Patterns, it is just such a perfect fall fabric. And it's got these big checks, as well as like a brown and a cream. I think the brown and the cream are good colors for me. Has the big checks. I look better in bigger patterns. It just suits me a lot better. So the big patterns are nice. It's a very nice drapey fabric. I'm very excited. This will be a fall skirt that I'll make. I'm sure I'll have leftovers, so we'll see what I do with that. Maybe a jacket, maybe make my sister a skirt, maybe put it in my stash. We'll see. But let's get started.
Here's everything washed and folded. I did not iron anything yet, but the silk I did wash in this special mild detergent and air dried it. I ended up doing one additional project. I didn't talk about at the beginning, but I have these jeans that I bought like a year ago, and they were 2 inches too long, so I never wore them. But I said, I will fix these. So I hemmed them by doing a basting stitch 2 inches up, and then I used that as a guideline to fold it up. Then I just stitched along that very top edge. Now there are other ways you can do this for sure. This was just the easiest for me, and it didn't take very long, and now I have a pair of jeans I've been wearing.
Checking in. Here we are a week after the deadline I set for myself. And I've gotten one of the 3 original plans done and one additional item done. So I washed all of the fabric that I had, and I serged the edges first to make sure that they didn't fray, which is good because a couple of them definitely would have. Actually, most of them would have frayed quite a bit. So I was happy that I serged the edges and then washed them. The one I was disappointed about was this kind of magenta wool. It had a bunch of holes, like a lot. I had to cut off about a yard of fabric. I was afraid if I washed it, all those holes would be open. I'm not sure. I don't think they were like moth or rat bitten holes. I think they were transport holes, like, maybe as it got dragged around or something. and the fabric smelled real weird, not like wool weird, like factory oil. I don't know. I did not like it. Never had this issue before, but I went ahead and washed it with harsher detergent than I usually use for wool and silk. I have a special wool and silk um, laundry detergent that I use, but I use the like high powered Tide, and then in hot water, and I dried it in hot air, which is not what you're supposed to do with wool. And it definitely has felted the top layer of the wool. Now it's going to work just the same as any other wool. It's just not going to look, it's not going to be like suiting fabric anymore. But to be honest, I would not have used the fabric if like I didn't super clean it. I'm a little persnickety about that, and I could have made the most beautiful thing in the whole world and I would not have worn it. So really cleaning it makes me feel a lot more comfortable, and so I'll actually use this. I'll probably though use it for like an outer dress or something. I've got quite a bit of it. It's gonna go back in my fabric closet because I don't have a plan for it currently. I think most of the other things have plans for them. The one I wanted to work on today is this. So I believe this is a designer silk, and it's I think supposed to be like a scarf. I got 2 yards, aka 2 scarves, and it's just this beautiful fabric. I did wash it with the magenta fabric initially, and so it did slightly dilute the white, but honestly, it's when you look, like, since you know that some of these are supposed to be bright whites and they're not, you might be like, oh, it's a little bit muddy, but honestly, it's not the worst thing. I washed it alone after in the mild detergent, and then I just let it air dry. I always let silks air dry. You don't want to heat them because they'll lose their shine. So I just let them air dry. They air dry so fast, especially if you have like air going through it, so you leave a gap. They dry in like 5 to 10 minutes. So over time, the white will come back a little bit more, and it's not too bad. You can see it's whiter than my shirt and my skin, so it'll be fine. I'm going to set up my machine to do the rolled hem, and I'll just serge all around the edges. I'm going to use this color. I felt like it matched pretty well of the blue. The purples, I just didn't have anything close. I didn't want to do white. That's bland, and especially the white, like if you stain it, you will see where the blue, it'll kind of blend in. I could have done a green, but the green is probably the least prevalent color, so I felt like the blue was a great alternative. And it looks even more closely matched on the screen, so awesome. Once I serge all around the edges with the rolled hem stitch on my serger, I will find the center of each of them and put 2 holes approximately in the center, but offset, for my arms. And I'll do an oval shape, and then it'll just be a vest, and that's as intense as it's gonna be. I'm even just gonna serge the oval. That's it. We're keeping this project easy. I just have to do that twice. I'll have one vest for me and one vest for my mom. I'll show you how that goes. I'll check in with you at the end. And that'll be the last project for today. It's a shorter video, easier. I was just trying to reset after such an intense project, and I'm behind, so I want to get it done. I was planning on making a dress for my sister. It was going to be a beautiful red wrap dress, but we're going to the fair, the Renaissance Fair here soon, and I thought I'd make myself, my sister, and my niece some fun skirts. So the theme, I think, is Shakespeare and fantasy. So we'll go more fantasy because Shakespeare is not my jam. Not a fan. And that'll probably be the next video, which I'm really excited about. We'll see. My plan is to make 3 skirts. If I can get anything else done on top of that, it'll be wonderful, exciting, but that's the plan for that next project. So pivoting a little bit, I still have 2 really cool projects I want to do. One big one with all the linen, and then one with the like green striped fabric. I'm so excited about both those 2 projects, but I thought the fun Renaissance Fair might be cool to just intersect. An easier project in between harder projects. An easier project. It will be easier. It will be an easy project. I'm telling that to myself because I tend to add things and make things more complicated. But I think for today, I'm going to try and get this done, and maybe our whole project done. I will put all my stuff up and clean up my craft room, get it all nice. That's my goal for today. Finish this and clean up. And then tomorrow we can start on the next project.
Before getting started on the last project, I decided to put everything away. Here is my fabric closet, and I'm just adding all of the things back in and taking one thing out. Then I grabbed this box, which contains my favorite fabrics. Mostly they're silk, but there is this one beautiful quilting cotton that has all these castles. I just love it. And this black is a silk knit with gold foiling on it. It is so beautiful. I have no idea what I'm going to make with it, but someday I'll make something beautiful. And you can just see all these beautiful fabrics. So I'm adding in the magenta silk as well as the 1 yard of the off-white silk that I bought to do potentially the bolero that I mentioned in the last video, but I'm putting it away for now. So here I am packing that box back up, and then we're gonna pack 2 boxes with my next projects in it. One is gonna have that beautiful tree linen as well as some green striped linen from my stash and the kind of avocado silk. The next one is the green wavy fabric with the purple silk and then some purple like amethyst colored buttons and some ribbon that I'm so excited for both these 2 projects. I just thought I'd give you a little taste of what's coming up.
Here is the full repeat. You're seeing kind of half of that one and half of this one. I'm gonna cut along the center, cut them apart. I'll end up doing the holes for the arms probably around there and around there so that this is at the top and kind of becomes a shawl collar. I think that'll look cute. You could also do it where they're kind of there and there. So this runs down one side, but you won't get as much volume around. So I definitely want to do it here and here.
I tested the rolled hem once I got it all set up on my machine, and I had to adjust it slightly, so I adjusted it twice. I liked the second, which is there on the left, and once I got it all set up, I was ready to start sewing. I just sewed down each edge, crossing over the seam line when I started the next edge. There were a little string from each corner that I did have to tack down, and one in each of the arm ovals, but I just did that by hand. It would be super easy to do it by regular machine as well.
I went through on both and sewed up the edges. I do at the corners need to sew in the little bit of thread that's left, but that's the last thing I'll do because I'll have to do it a bunch of times, and I'm gonna have to do it on the armholes, which we're working on next. What I have done is I grabbed this really quick and easy back pattern, and I measured the length, which was 12.5 inches. I went ahead and rounded up to 13 and did 1.5 inch gap. That should be plenty for the arm opening. Then we've got to figure out how far we want it over. I do want this to kind of roll over and be the collar, so I think what we'll do is we'll put it around here. I have marked the center line, so we're here, and I measured this across my back, and I probably need to add about 1 inch. So if we go here, about 1 inch would be about there. So if we go here, I think that's gonna be about perfect. Now, this will not have the shaping of a pattern like that, but it's okay. We don't need perfect shaping here. We're looking for the flow. We're looking for the fun. So it being a little bit flat or a little bit funky won't matter at all. Okay. And I'm hoping I can see this well enough to cut it, but there we go. And if we say that this is our center, we can measure, okay, 7.5 inches. So I'm gonna put it about there, pull this out, and we went about halfway. So theoretically, I'm gonna mark that 7.5 inch from center. The last thing I'll do is cut this out. And I think I'll just get my little snips, snip in and cut around.
To serge the armholes, I had to put the scarf halfway over the machine, and then I just ran around the inside. Going around the curves was hard. That's what I'm trying to show you, and of course my hand's right in the way. I held the fabric in my right hand and just manipulated it so that it would go into the machine straight.
Here are the scraps from the 2 scarf vests that I just made. That is gonna go in the trash. You can see really half of it is the scrap I tested on, and the other half is just around the edges. We've got these 4 arm cutouts. You could definitely sew around the edges, even potentially cut it in half and sew around the edges and create some strings to tie in the front. I'll show you kind of where you could do that. So even these wouldn't be waste. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use them in crafting. I'll probably make bookmarks or add them to a card or something. They are too pretty to waste, but honestly, that's about it. There's so little waste in this project. It's awesome. And it's also a great present. I'm giving mine to my mother for a late Mother's Day present, and that's a great option. Literally, they work on just about anybody. So it's a great, easy project if you want to make somebody something. And here we are at the end. Here's a video of me wearing the scarf. I'm actually wearing the pants I hemmed as well. Very cute outfit. I just love this scarf. It's so fun. I got the idea from like a little vest that I bought online 15 plus years ago, and I loved it. And when I first started sewing, that was one of the first things I did, and it just looked so good. It's such a fun, easy project, and you can really make it for a lot of people. So I ended up making two. The only difference is where the hole is. So I moved the hole slightly up on one of them. I think this is the second one I made, and I moved the hole slightly up. So that's the only difference between the two. I'll take both of them. I'm visiting my mom in a couple weeks, so I'll take them both and just whichever works. My sister did see I was wearing it, one of them after I finished, and she really liked it, and she was like, I'll just take it. And I was like, it's for our mom. So let's talk about how I ranked this, because from the last video, I've started ranking how I feel about my different sewing creations, and I think that's going to help me with like long-term knowing what I want to sew more of. So this one ranked really high. Not super surprising to me since I've had this same thing before. I really love the colors on this one. It's just so fun and summery. It works with my shape. I think it works with just about anybody's shape. Unless she looks really good in boxy stuff, like this is gonna work for anybody. So definitely try this one. The color, for me, the vibrant colors I think look fun. I like the vibrant colors, so kudos on that. It definitely matches my vibes and style pretty well. Maybe not 100%, but pretty close. It does match the stated goal. I knew what I was gonna make. I made it. It turned out just as well as I thought. The comfort, it is so comfortable. I made the holes for the arms a little bit bigger than needed, but that just means like I could wear it over this big outfit. I'll show you, because you might not believe me, but I'll show you. I can. And that's why I made the armholes a little bit bigger, just for that versatility. Obviously, this is like a over other things kind of an outfit, or over other kinds of things type of a garment. And so having a little bit bigger armholes allows for different things that I want to do. The wearability, high. The only reason I degraded it just a little bit is because I don't know that I have just a zillion things, especially for summer, that I can wear it with. And it is a very summer coated garment, hard. It's a very summer coated garment, and I don't have a lot of summer type clothes that match this aesthetic. Don't have the same colors, don't have the same vibe. But that just encourages me to make more things that will work with it. So it only got one color down, one number down. The materials, 5 out of 5. Like I said before, it's a designer silk. Can't complain. The construction, I thought I did a really good job. If you look really close at the edge, I maybe could have shuffled with the settings just a little bit more to make it a little bit nicer. And how much do I like it? 3 out of 3, baby. I think this is so fun. It's such a flattering shape, and it gives a lot of movement as you move. It's just so fun. That's why it's probably my highest rated item to date. And it's super basic, but sometimes you just need those basic pieces. So I do need some additional shirts that I'll have to make that have some shorter sleeves. I've ended up somehow with a bunch of long sleeves, which I like long sleeves, but not in the summer. So I have to make some short sleeves. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it here in just a second. At the very end, I'm going to post a clip. If you've ever wondered what it's like to make YouTube videos, I'm not like super influencer or anything like that. Like, nobody watches my videos except for my family, and they make fun of me. So you can see a video that they sent me to make fun of me, laughing at something. So I'll show you that. If you've got this far, definitely subscribe, like the video, and I'll see y'all in 2 weeks for another sewing video. Otherwise, you can join me on some of my crafting lives, because if you can't tell, I also craft. See you guys soon. The electronic kinks, but we got it up. And the 8 inches I lost in height, I think is actually a good thing, because